This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP network.
This is episode 722 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast for July 8th, 2026. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. My name is Chris, and Lee, Michelle, and Tracy are missing this week. So in their place, we have some Producers Club guests. We have Brooke Warner and Taylor Filarowski. Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys on. This is a first, I think, of just having myself hosting with Producers Club members. Normally Lee is the hall monitor and always on every show and make sure that we are in line. So now with him gone, we can do whatever we want. So it should be fun.
I was just about to say, let's go.
Yeah. Well, before we get started, we want to find out a little more about you guys. So we'll start off with you, Brooke, and then we'll go over to Taylor. So when was your first visit to Universal Orlando?
Well, I'll say allegedly because I don't remember it, but allegedly my first visit was in 1994, somewhere around then. But I was very young. I don't remember the first visit, but we went essentially every summer growing up. So I really have strong memories. I want to say probably when Islands opened. But yeah, I've been going for a while now, I guess.
Awesome. And what is your favorite current attraction?
That's such a tough question, but I think my favorite current attraction is Hagrid's, just for the re-rideability.
Okay. And where is your favorite place to eat on property?
Probably Mythos, Rest in Power. I think I'm going to need to visit like five more times before the end of the year just to get my fix.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to need like 10 fork and knife grilled cheeses before they close.
Some pad thai. Yeah.
Oh,
yes. So sad.
The wife loves pad thai.
Yes.
All right. And which is your favorite hotel?
I think this is another really tough question. There's so much to like, but Sapphire Falls, right? Like you have to go with Sapphire.
That's actually the right answer. Funny enough.
Yeah.
All right. For butterbeer, hot, frozen, or regular?
I think I'm just a regular girl. Don't mess with the success of the original.
Fair enough. And finally, the Globe, the Lighthouse, Krakatoa, or the Kronos?
I think I'll go with Globe just for the nostalgia factor.
Okay. Regular butterbeer and the Globe. That's solid choices.
Thank you.
Now, Taylor, over to you. Let's start off with when was your first visit to Universal Orlando?
It would have been in like 2000 or 2001. I was 8 and we went on a family trip, but I grew up in Florida. So we used to do like school trips to Orlando and Universal. So I grew up also going to Universal, but 8. And I still remember, for whatever reason, my very first ride was the Hulk. My brother dragged me on it and I was absolutely terrified, but it was fun.
Is this an older brother?
Obviously, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's the job. They have to scare the younger
exactly.
sister. I did it to my younger sister my entire life. So yeah, totally get that.
It's a rite of passage. Yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what's your favorite current attraction?
For nostalgia purposes, my favorite current attraction is Forbidden Journey. If the question is like, what ride do I want to go on right now? It's probably Stardust Racers.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is your favorite place to eat?
Okay, I feel like this place never gets a shout out, but I love going to the Orchid Lounge at Royal Pacific for sushi. Mm-hmm. I go there like almost every trip. It's like a nice break from the parks, and they have really good food. And I don't know, I really recommend it over there.
Yeah, we don't hear that often.
Yeah, the ambiance is like really nice in there. It's like relaxing.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's like not too crowded. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it over there.
I have to add it to my list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And which is your favorite hotel?
I'm also going to go Sapphire Falls. Yeah, it's just amazing there. We love it. I've only stayed once, but I like to just like go over there and get a drink or something.
Oh yeah. And for butterbeer, hot, frozen, or regular?
Hot. I like the hot butterbeer.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Globe, Lighthouse, Krakatoa, or Kronos?
I'm going to go Lighthouse. That's like the most nostalgic one to me. I just remember Islands of Adventure so vividly from my first trip. And it was like the most magical place I'd ever been. So I just love it. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, it's time to go to the park. So
yeah. And it's a perfect view from the Hulk too. So, I mean, that just makes total sense.
Right.
While you're screaming your lungs out.
Seared into my memory. Exactly. Yeah. One of the most traumatic moments of my life. It's just right there, you know?
All right. Awesome. Well, that will start us off. Now, Brooke, we got some birthdays in the house, technically.
Yeah.
In the house. But start us off with some PC birthdays.
Yeah, let's do it. So first, on July 9th, we have Amir Hamazeda. I hope I said your last name correctly, but happy birthday. And on July 10th, we have Stuart Mallett's birthday. Happy birthday to both of you.
Happy birthday, Amir.
Happy birthday.
And happy birthday, Stuart. Love you, buddy.
UUOP is brought to you by the Producers Club. Join today and get bonus episodes, the chance to be a guest host, birthday shoutouts on air, be part of our awesome Facebook community, and more. Head over to uuop.supercast.com to subscribe. Shameless plug.
All right, moving on. We have Little Things with Seth.
This is Seth Kaburski, co-author of The Unofficial Guides. It's Independence Day here in the United States, so I'm here to take a look at all the little things, but mostly at Universal Orlando for the beginning of July 2026. As we head into City Walk, you can see that the Minions and Monsters movie, which debuted on July 1st, has taken over the decorations on the Universal Cineplex. You can also find plenty of Minions and Monsters merchandise inside City Walk's Universal Studios store. World Cup photo ops were still happening while I was at the park, as are retro nights at the Red Coconut Club for another couple weekends. And construction for Luke Combs' Category 10 Club is ramping up. Work walls have now expanded, and they have completely demolished the Riverfront Bar. Heading over to Universal Studios Florida, it was very exciting to see the big spike for the upcoming Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift Coaster has now been topped off, complete with the ceremonial flag. I love the way the spike twists on its way up so that guests in City Walk will be able to see guests on the roller coaster. Moving inside the park, they added some big inflatable multi-eyed monsters on top of a few of the rooftops in the front of the park along Illumination Ave. Unfortunately, the one on top of the studio store seems to have deflated. Heading down Hollywood Boulevard, you can stop into Five and Dime and pick up some Hellraiser merchandise. That's the latest intellectual property house announced for Halloween Horror Nights. And at the end of Hollywood Boulevard, you'll see that the crepe stand now has a new vegan Impossible Meat crepe. Around the corner in DreamWorks Land, Poe's training camp has finally reopened. It looks like they resurfaced the splash pad area, but did not destroy it like they did at Shrek's Swamp. Notice they're trying something new over at Men in Black. If you want an immigration tour that lets you take a close-up look at the sets in the queue, check with a team member at the entrance of the attraction to sign up for one of the 3 daily tours, typically at noon, 3 p.m., and 6 p.m. This, of course, can change with staffing availability. On the other side of the lagoon in San Francisco, they're setting up for what looks like another DJ club at the exit of Fast and Furious for Halloween Horror Nights. And finally, over in the New York area, construction on Finnegan's has pushed all the way out into Delancey Street, making it pretty much impossible for the Blues Brothers to drive their signature car up for their shows. But fear not, Bluesmobile fans. In the meantime, they've painted a picture of the Bluesmobile on the side of the Finnegan's construction walls. All right, let's hop over to Islands of Adventure, where in Port of Entry, they're refurbishing one of my favorite little scenes, the jailhouse that's been broken out of on the right side as you enter the main street. Scrims are up, preventing you from looking at the scene, but you can still hear the dialogue. Not a lot new to report on in Marvel Superhero Island, but over in Toon Lagoon, they've finally taken all the walls down around the bridge to Sweet Haven. And the only change I can really see is that the water cannons, which you used to be able to activate by putting in a couple quarters, have now been completely removed. Me Ship the Olive reopened a little while ago, but the slides are still off limit. Team members say they are still waiting for some parts. And if you're keeping track of where all those pharma boxes in the park, I spotted another one tucked behind the human drying machines, right behind Wimpy's. In Jurassic Park, the river adventure continues to be closed for its extended refurbishment, although we've got word now that the changes might not be as extensive as some had thought, and it will definitely not be becoming a Jurassic World clone. But the good news is that Pteranodon Flyers has finally reopened after its extended downtime. Next door in the Wizarding World, it looks like the paint job on Hogwarts Castle has finally been completed. And of course, the big news is that Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure no longer offers express access. As a result, we've seen the average midday wait for the ride drop from about 2 hours down to about 1 hour. Walking through the remainder of what's left of the Lost Continent, we can see that Doc Sugre's Kebab House has been completely demolished. The area that was once filled with fortune tellers and henna artists is now a shaded seating area, and the walls in front of Poseidon have been pushed forward, revealing the trident has been completely demolished. And finally, a menu update in Seuss Landing. Hop on Pop has gotten rid of their famous sundaes on a stick and are now only serving sundaes in a bowl. Over at Volcano Bay, it looks like that upcoming extended closure might be extended a little bit longer. Originally, Volcano Bay was supposed to reopen next year in late March, but they're now saying it could be closed as long as April 1st. And I had hoped that maybe during that long closure, they were going to add some new slides or attractions. But it appears that the expansion plot that Volcano Bay has had all this time is going to be used for team member break area and some more cabanas. Finally, we'll wrap up over in Epic Universe, where the special event space being built in Celestial Park across from the Atlantic restaurant has finally gone vertical. In the Ministry of Magic, the Cirque Arcanu reopened after a brief refurbishment. And I'm excited to say I'm going to be there on July 7th when the new Celestial Goodnight Fountain and Fireworks Show debuts. Looking forward to letting you know what I think of it. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this time. As always, you can find me on social media at Eskabursky and at The Unofficial Guides, and pre-order your copy of The Unofficial Guide to Universal Orlando 2027 right now at theunofficialguides.com. Until next time, I'm Seth Kabursky, keeping an eye on all those little things for you.
Thank you, Seth. All right. A lot of stuff there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of things, per usual.
A lot of things, yeah. Yeah, this is interesting because most of the time when we're on, like, we know each other's opinions, but having you guys on, we can get a different opinion on some of these. So how do you guys feel about that Cat 10 Club coming up?
What is that? I don't know if I ever got like an explanation on what it is. Is that in City Walk, like down by the water?
It is in City Walk. So if you walk towards the stage by the water, okay, before you go down the steps, look to your left, and there was a bar cart. And that small bar cart is being removed, and a giant restaurant is being built there. And it is,
Gotcha.
I think it's Luke Combs. It's like a country.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Luke Combs?
A country guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'll delay judgment until I go there, I guess. I mean, I'm not a super big fan of like things being built up that close to the water, because I like to go down there and just like chill and hang out. It always seems like kind of quiet down there.
Yeah.
But you know, if it's good, which, you know, being honest, I don't think it will be if it's a Luke Combs restaurant, but who knows? I mean, you know, I'm reserving judgment. He has a very subpar restaurant in the Nashville airport. I can tell you that. I ate there once. So
okay.
Not holding out hope, but you know, we'll see.
He has a full one in Nashville too, right?
Yeah,
I think there's a clone of
like
that.
His little satellite. Yeah, it's this little like satellite one they have at the airport, and it's just like American bar food.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not. I feel like with like, especially with NBC Sports Grill and Brew so close, I'm like, well, how's this going to be different? I guess, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an opinion. I'm not a big country music fan, so there's not like a draw there, but I know lots of people are.
Right.
So, and if you've ever been in City Walk on like a super busy summer night, I think we all could agree that we could use maybe one or two more restaurants. So I don't hate it for that, but no big appeal. Like, I'm not going to be like first in line, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's been the general consensus we've seen, where it's anybody is, we're welcoming of a new restaurant. I think we need one there. It's just the location is very obstructive of what you would see there. We'll see how it is when it's finally done, and maybe it just becomes the landscape that we get used to. But yeah,
that's true.
Strange location.
Very strange location.
Let's see,
but yeah, I was excited to hear, speaking of food, that they're going to do an Impossible crepe at the crepe stand. I was a vegetarian for a really long time, and I just felt like there wasn't a ton of like special savory options for, I'm assuming it's going to be vegetarian or vegan, I guess, because it's Impossible. So even though I'm not a vegetarian anymore, I'm still excited to check it out. I love the Impossible brand, so I think that'll be good. I'm just excited to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have that diversity that anybody can eat there, really.
Yeah.
So I don't eat it, but doesn't affect me. Go for it.
more for the rest of us. Yeah.
Exactly. Fast and Furious Spike. Have you guys seen the latest construction on that?
No, but my friend was just at Universal this past weekend and came to visit me afterwards and was like, you're not going to believe like it. He's like, it just looks so totally different from what you're used to seeing. But he said it looked really cool, and like they're putting it up like super fast. Universal's like so fast with their construction. So I'm not surprised to hear it, but he said it looked really cool and he liked it. So I was excited to take a look for myself in person.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but I did get to see it like 2 weeks ago. I know. Went down for a super short two-day trip, and I'm so surprised how far out next to Hard Rock it comes. Like it really does like change. It feels like the park is like kind of coming out and grabbing you while you're walking through that like walkway in front of the Hard Rock.
Cool. So
it's so cool, and that spike is awesome. I think the roller coaster will kind of fill that like need of like how much energy Rip Ride Rocket brought to the front of the park. I think we won't miss it quite as much.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I saw pictures. I wasn't as lucky to be there. No, I wasn't lucky to be there, but from the pictures I've seen, it looks freaking awesome. Like, this is one of those things where we typically are very cautious of major changes, right? We were just talking about Category 10 and it being changing the entire view. This is that as well in an even more drastic way. But like, I think it's done very well to the point of it grabs your attention in the best way possible.
I never like look at photos online when people are like, oh, construction's up for this or that. I don't know. I always avoid photos because I like to see for the first time in person, but I don't know. I might be convinced. I have to look this up and take a look.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. I was on, where did I see this? I think it was like TikTok or Instagram. It was like a reel or a video there where they were showing, somebody posted up, the spike coming up out of the ground. And then one of the engineers that worked on the spike commented on the video saying how cool it was. And then he posted a picture of him putting the flag up there and then like facing downward, which was also really cool.
Yeah. That's
super
cool.
jealous.
That's
But
so sweet.
yeah, that looks awesome. And then Celestial Goodnight. Have you guys been to Epic Universe?
Yes, I've been, I think, twice now. But I haven't seen any nighttime shows or anything like that. But I would be definitely interested in checking that out. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Epic a couple times now. And actually, the last time I was there a couple weekends ago, we stayed at Terra Luna. And they were testing the fireworks. And when I tell you this is a massive, at least the test was a massive, massive firework display. I was shocked. I got in pretty late. It was like 10:30 at night. And they were still setting off fireworks. And they were big time. I think I was expecting something like what we see on the Hogwarts Castle, at their nighttime show, just because of where the park is and what we know about, setting off fireworks there. But this was a true kind of like big firework display. So I'm really excited to see how it comes to fruition.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's something it needs, right? I mean, I've done the nighttime show twice and it's okay. Like we enjoy it, but there's not a whole lot going on. I think it definitely needs drones or fireworks. In this case, fireworks. I will gladly take those.
Agreed.
I get a little envious of the rat down the street and want some of those fireworks. So hopefully they bring that here and they don't have those. Yeah. They don't have those restrictions that we do, in studios or islands.
Yeah. You could totally see the fireworks, at least from Terra Luna. And I'm assuming that means you could also see them from Stella Nova, which I think is nice too. So it's not just Helios that you could watch the end of night fireworks. I think it's a nice perk. So
That is a nice perk.
That does sound
It's like the theme park view is going to really give you an advantage in those rooms.
Big time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it just that like Epic isn't as close to residential neighborhoods? Like, why are they, I guess, permitted, or like why do they feel comfortable shooting off fireworks there but not at the legacy parks? I guess it's just not as many residences around, I'm assuming.
That's my understanding. So because it's in such a residential area, they aren't allowed to do it. Aside from,
Right.
I'm gonna guess they get special permits for like 4th of July, New Year's, when they do launch fireworks, and then the ones in Hogwarts, those, if I'm not mistaken, don't have sound. So that's always been an area that we've talked about, right? Because you can have fireworks with no sound. You just don't put the explosion in there. So it's always been a question of, okay, you don't have to have the boom, but add this to your nighttime show over there. It'll augment it.
Almost like a light show. I like element.
100%.
Yeah.
And then you can use the sound system that you're running already for that show, coordinated with the fireworks, and it'll be nice. Whether it's maybe a cost measure, I don't know, but yeah, like where Epic is at, like that is all commercial property, at least to my understanding, right? It was the old I forgot who they bought it from.
What was over there? I don't.
They still have some of
either.
it over there. It is it's a government contractor.
Uh-oh. You know what that means?
Yeah. Well,
they do government things over there.
They do government things, and there's some funny stories that I've heard about the reason why certain things were built a certain way over there. So if I'm not mistaken, like the Helios Hotel was strategically put there because behind that is another government contractor building where there are people with sniper rifles in the corners that blocks. Yeah. It's pretty insane. How valid that is, I don't know, but this was.
I'm not gonna not be able to think about that one next time I'm at Epic. Like, how is a sniper rifle to me?
Honestly, if you go, and I have done this, if you go on Google Maps, do the aerial view satellite, zoom in, and you'll see the building very close behind it. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
No wonder they can't get those dragons flying and people shoot them down.
That's what it is. Yeah. I heard some sadness for the Sundays on a Stick being gone. Anybody else?
Oh my gosh. Rip. I love the Sundays on a Stick. Yeah, I kind of get it though, because I get them like every once in a while. I just love hanging out in Seuss Landing with like a little treat. And the last time, like, they're hand making them, I think. Like, it takes a while.
Do.
It's not.
They do. They have the ice cream. They do the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a place close to me that does like dipped ice cream cones and stuff, and it's a process. And I can imagine for like thousands of potential guests a day, they're probably like, okay, this isn't worth it anymore. But I will miss it. Rip to the Sunday on a Stick. I'll miss you very much. I have lots of photos to look back on fondly, though.
All right. Anything else here before we move on that you guys would like to bring up?
I was wondering at the Cirque Arcanu. That's like the only thing I've done at Epic more than once, I think. I've done it on both trips I went. What do we know anything about what they changed in there?
This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Brief. That's what I mean. I heard Seth say something about like a brief refurbishment. I could have maybe misheard him, but I'm wondering if it has anything to do with any of like the effects, or if it's more to do with like the guest flow. Because my only complaint about that is like after the first pre-show room, it's like a zoo to try to like get into the actual place where you sit down. So I'm wondering if they put in some like crowd control or something there. But I was just curious if anybody had any more info.
No, I haven't seen a bunch on it either. I briefly looked it up. I don't know if it's maybe refurb into the set pieces they use.
Yeah.
Just because I know like, and this was very early on, but when we went, I think this was right after previews, so it opened up. We tried seeing that show the entire day. And what I mean is we went to every single time slot. It was like 4 of them. Each one was canceled. So I know they were running into technical difficulties. So I don't know if maybe, whatever has been reoccurring for them, they either got rid of it, fixed it, or changed it to something else.
Yeah, I had the same experience where when I think every time throughout the day for every showtime. And then eventually they just said, yeah, it's not going to run today, which that still might have been during previews. So definitely give them some grace around that. But I wondered, is this the first attraction in Epic to close for a reefer, or has there been something else?
Ooh, interesting. What else would have closed for, well, Stardust Racers, but I don't know if that was a reefer.
Yeah, that's
like a testing situation.
Yeah, that's different. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just thinking
that's the only other
that.
thing I can think of that was closed for an extended period of time.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else right now. Like you said, Stardust would probably be the only other thing, but that had its own reasons. So,
right. But I'm not surprised for like Cirque Arcanu. That would make sense to me. Like when I saw it for the first time, I was like, I can't believe they're doing this in a theme park. Like all the different elements they have, and like it's like a full like 4D experience. I love live theater, and I like walked out and I told my husband, I'm like, that's one of the best shows I've ever seen, like, including when I go to like an actual like Broadway theater. It was incredible. So I mean, I'm happy for them to close occasionally if it means they can keep up like that level of a show,
absolutely. The first time we went to go see it, we did not watch anything of it, and we were blown away, completely blown away by that. Like we were watching them do magic tricks and stuff on stage. I'm like, well, what are they going to do here? And then the whole stage thing happens. I'm like, whoa.
I know. Yeah. And it's crazy to think all the magic is real too, like,
right? Yeah. I know.
Like actual witches and wizards, so
it is insane. I know. All right. I think we dove into that pretty well. Let's move on. It's time to take a break and listen to Which Cone Makes You Moan from Marin.
When you're hungry after riding on a dragon, hot and sweaty and your energy is flagging. Don't want no blade, I don't want no little bowl. Wanna use my tongue and my heart and my soul. Tastes like chicken, baby, tastes like PBJ. Or are you classic, baby, classic all the way? Rich and creamy, yeah, you know it's gonna stick. When you put your face down in it, it's so tasty, hot and thick. Oh, hell yeah, that's what she said. I'll have what she's having. Gonna take you all the way to cheesy heaven. Which cone makes you moan, yeah? A which cone makes you moan, yeah? A which cone makes you moan, yeah? A which cone makes you moan.
Hi everyone, this is Marin. I'm reporting on Which Cone Gets My Moan, and I've been trying to get this challenge done since last year. I've eaten multiple cones that you don't even care about anymore, which is a shame because they were really good. The Snuggle Top cone was amazing, and the chicken cone that just left is really good too. Unfortunately, the new chicken cone I'm not a fan of. I just had it today, and it's got hot Cheetos on it, which I like hot Cheetos by themselves, but I don't really like them on stuff because I feel like everything tastes like hot Cheetos. So that's going to be a 3 out of 5 for me. It wasn't terrible, but I wouldn't order it again. God tier cone is always going to be PB&J. There's nothing bad about that cone. It is 10 out of 10, 15 out of 15. I will get it every time. I've had it about 15 times already since I've been to this park. About every month since it opened, and I've always had a PB&J friend, and it's never disappointed me. And then, so 5 out of 5, 100%. The final cone that is out here still is like a basic cone. It has goldfish in it, and it was fine, but it's like a kid's cone or somebody who is a temperamental eater, who doesn't like everything. I think they'll like that cone. I loved it, but I would always get a PB&J. So, final ranking, PB&J 5 out of 5. The new chicken cone, 3 out of 5. And the basic goldfish cone, 4 out of 5. But honestly, I'll take a cone every day of the week. Any flavor. Bye, everyone.
You know, it's supposed to be ranked out of 5, but since she's had 15 of the PB&Js, Marin, you're allowed to rank this 15. All right, you get the pass.
Wow, that's dedication. Yeah.
That is highly dedicated. Well, if you want to find out which cone makes you moan,
Head over to Isle of Burke at Epic Universe and grab one or all of the cones available at either Hooligan's Grog and Gruel or Spitfire Grill Anything.
Once you're done eating them, or even while you are eating them, record yourself rating each one out of 5, with 1 being,
oh, hell no.
and 5 being,
Oh, hell yeah.
and send those recordings to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com, and we'll play them on the podcast and add them to the tally.
I wish to go to Universal.
Right, off you go. We'll beat to the edge of the Forbidden Forest.
Where can our vacation wizards take you? Just tap the port key at portkeyvacations.com and let the magic begin.
All right. Before we get into this next segment to close us out, have either or both of you been to Horror Nights?
yes.
Okay.
Love it.
Definitely.
So-
Mhm.
Okay. Horror Nights fans. Awesome. Great.
Yep.
Oh, big fan.
Big fans.
Yes.
Good. Love to hear that.
I'm excited about this.
Okay. Let's get into it. All right.
Yeah.
And we will wrap up the podcast by discussing the glut of HHN 35 house announcements we've had since the last news show.
First up, we have the second original house of the year. HR Blood and Guts presents a Halloween Fright-tacular. Big screams on the small screen. Your favorite Mater D Macabre returns to WKNB with a special Halloween scare-a-thon. Tune in to this haunted house to complete with ghouls, gore, and all of the frights that keep you coming back for more.
All right. Next, we have Mad Labs. Sorry, that's Mad Lands. Caged Cannibals. You're at the bottom of the food chain. The animals might be gone, but animalistic violence is inescapable. Try to survive a defunct zoo that has become the deadly domain of wearing cannibal factions in this haunted house.
Following that, we got Cybergoria. Immortality comes at a cost. Awaken thousands of years in the future in this haunted house and brave a cold world driven by machines with a singular goal: to make you live forever, even if it kills you.
And what we assume to be the final original of the year, Invasion, Alien Abduction. Extraterrestrial and extra terrifying. Make contact with horrors from worlds unknown in this haunted house, where a ship full of greys have torn apart a remote homestead in search of fresh test subjects.
Let's discuss these real quick first, and
Yeah,
then
let's do
we'll
that.
move on. Yeah. First of all, awesome that we have all these announcements so quickly.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Let me throw it over to you guys.
I can go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either one. Yeah. Jump in. Anybody.
Cool. So I think outside of our two kind of like characters that we already know, so outside of Jack and Oddfellow and outside of HR Blood and Guts, I think initially it took me a minute to process because these feel like they all kind of have like that similar futuristic dystopian type of vibe. But the more that I've sat with them, I think I'm getting more and more excited every day, and how awesome that we got some additional articles with more information about them to understand kind of what the stories are and what the intention is from creative. So I'm super excited. What do you guys think?
I'm also like really excited. I love the trend of like releasing a different original announcement on back-to-back days. I don't know. I've heard other people don't love that as much, but to me, it makes the originals feel like it's a moment. You know, they're having their moment, kind of like how the IPs get their moments.
Agreed.
I definitely felt that way this year. Like so much excitement and all the like online communities I'm a part of, with one exception, which maybe we'll talk about. I also really like that we're getting different like genres of horror because I love like sci-fi horror things, so I'm like super excited for Cybergoria and Alien Abduction. I just feel like that's not something that we get as much. And then I'm personally really excited for HR Blood and Guts as well, just because I love anything having to do with like HHN lore, so I think that'll be a fun house.
Yeah.
Excited to do like a deep dive on all the lore behind it.
Yeah, I am loving these. Like for me, the Cybergoria sticks out. It feels like a Slaughter Cinema movie, and I'm I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I want super cheesy Cybergoria. You don't have to go all crazy. I need cheesy, B-side film Cybergoria. I think that'll be cool. Yeah, Alien Abduction, that one, we'll see. It seems they didn't go too much into detail, which is fine. It would be cool if they just sent us through like the ETQ. That would be fun.
ET better be in there.
Yeah.
And they said they had like a variety of aliens, so ET has to be in there.
Yeah. Really, that one seems like it's going to be like our corn maze. You know how they always have like a rural house, and I always love those houses. So I'm like, I think that one's going to be really, really cool. And I know, like in some of the articles, Brooke, that you mentioned, I was like reading up on some of them, and they said that this is. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this might be the comedy house, but they're saying that it's supposed to be like they're playing it straight, like it's supposed to be like pretty scary. So I'm kind of interested to see how this is not more like kind of kitschy and lighthearted. So I'm really interested for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with Aliens, you can, if they played it straight, there's a level of, I don't want to say fear, but there's this level of suspense I get whenever I watch alien movies, and I've watched like a lot of 90s alien stuff. Like I grew up watching the X-Files too. Some of it, like my dad would watch it and then I would watch it with him, but I would leave sometimes. I'm like, no, this is like too creepy for me. It feels too realistic. I don't like this at all. Show me some blood. But that's like if they went straight with it, it can definitely, it can give you like that sense of suspense while walking through there. Don't have to show a lot. I want to hear a lot and make it, give it, back of my head, the hairs in the back of my head to kind of like stand up a little bit.
You want the Signs treatment. That's what it sounds like.
Yes.
I was just about to say that.
Exactly it. Yes.
I think it's going to be like that. I kind of am hoping, because I feel like that movie strikes like the right. I'm an M. Night Shyamalan apologist, by the way. I love his movies, but I feel like that movie strikes like a really good, realistic tone. You like in that movie, you're like, oh yeah, this could totally happen, and this is probably how it would happen. So
yeah, those are like the movies and like TV shows where it feels too real, and that's what scares me. It's not seeing the alien, right? Like you only see the alien towards the end of that movie.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Yeah, it looks like they may be doing that because again, they didn't go into details on this or give us, some kind of cheesy thing to go along with. So we'll see. And if they gave it, that M. Night Shyamalan twist, maybe E.T. is the bad guy. That's like the whole thing. I keep on going back to E.T.
That would be heartbreaking.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a fan theory about Cybergoria.
Yeah.
So you know how last year we had the Jason universe house, and it was a little disappointing as a Jason fan because they did not feature the best Friday the 13th movie, Jason X, aka Jason in Space. So I'm wondering if they had any like costumes or props. They were gonna do Jason X, ended up scrapping that, but they saved all that futuristic stuff for the Cybergoria house. It's, again, pure fan theory, but I'm like, I wonder if there will be something in there where I'm going to look at it and be like, I bet they were going to use that for Jason X. But that was just my first thought for some reason when I heard this. Yeah,
that tracks for sure. We've seen them use tons of previous years set pieces in future years, so it'll be interesting. I'm excited. This is a really good lineup this year for the originals.
Yeah, of the three, which are you most excited for? Or I guess five, but these three that aren't characters that we know already.
So of Caged Cannibals, Cybergoria, and Alien Abduction.
Yeah,
I don't know, Chris. What do you think?
I feel like Caged Cannibals might be the winner, and I'm just going. My mind goes to like Chupacabra and when they did all the different monsters. So they're really good. Like they used a lot of puppets. In those houses, and they did a fantastic job at doing that. So I think we're going to get a lot of that here, where you'll have cages, maybe with some openings, and they'll just pop out and do some nice scares. But again, going back to that Cybergoria, if they give us like a Slaughter Cinema style house, I will probably fall in love with it.
Okay. See,
what about you?
For Caged Cannibals, I was thinking it was going to be more like, I'm less excited for it because, first of all, I'm just like the apocalyptic type of vibe. I feel like they just repeat that so often. I mean, they're always usually like pretty good, but it's just not something I get super excited about. But for some reason, the first thing that came to mind for me was Hellblock Horror, which I know they had like a shorter timeline for Hellblock Horror, and I'm not dogging it, but it wasn't my favorite. So I would love to be proven wrong, though. I feel like the houses that I end up loving the most are usually the ones that are lower on my hype list. So, yeah, but I am definitely most excited for Invasion Alien Abduction. I'm really excited to see how they pull that off. Yeah. What about you, Brooke?
I'm thinking Cybergoria, just because of the like kind of fixation on biohacking and like looks maxing and all this, and like that dystopian take on that, or like futuristic take. I think it could be campy, but it also could be pretty scary at like the lengths that humans will go to like live forever or be beautiful or whatever. So I'm very interested in that.
Did you see The Substance when that came out? You made me think of like it would be like The Substance, like we're all getting injected with weird stuff to be young.
Yeah.
I dig it. I can go for that. All right. Moving on to IPs. Last week, we received the third IP announcement, and that is Hellraiser. Now, since its debut in 1987, Hellraiser has become one of horror's most influential franchises, introducing audiences to the chilling mythology of the Lament configuration puzzle box, which, when solved, opens a portal to another dimension inhabited by ritualistically torturous beings, the Cenobites, and their leader, the iconic Pinhead. Known for blending psychological horror with graphic imagery and philosophical themes of pain and desire, Hellraiser helped redefine supernatural horror and cemented its place as a cult classic that continues to inspire filmmakers and haunt audiences worldwide.
Now, for the first time at Halloween Horror Nights, guests will experience this nightmare personally in haunted houses on both coasts that draw from the first three films: Hellraiser, Hellbound Hellraiser 2, and Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Additionally, legendary Pinhead actor Doug Bradley will reprise his character and lend his voice to both haunted houses in Hollywood and Orlando. The terrifying experience begins as guests enter the iconic Lament configuration puzzle box, unwittingly summoning the Cenobites and opening a gateway to a diabolical dimension where unspeakable horrors await. From the shadowy attic in Frank Cotton's family home, where he was first cast to hell, to the disturbing Channard Institute, where the legendary box lures guests with its promise of forbidden pleasures, fans will encounter haunting moments and settings from the Hellraiser franchise at every turn. Their unnerving journey ultimately lands them in the labyrinth where Pinhead and the Cenobites lie in wait for new souls to torment for eternity. It's going to be awesome.
This is going to be awesome. 100%. Like, I've seen so many people talking about this already in different Facebook groups where some people are legitimately scared to go inside this house, which rightfully so. If you've seen what goes on in this movie.
Yeah. I saw Hellraiser for the first time this weekend. Instead of like Saturday morning cartoons, I literally woke up and I was like, I'm going to watch Hellraiser at 8:30 on a Saturday. And the whole time I was like, what is
a choice?
But it totally went not where I thought it was going to go. It's such a unique movie.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a weird movie. I know like the director and the writer is like a horror author, and he's just like writes like such weird and like disturbing things. It's almost I'm curious to see. I know HHN has done it before, but I think that psychological element is so interesting when they do it in haunted houses as well. Like the idea of like a psychological horror. So I'm kind of interested to see how they interpret that in this house, because the movie I feel like is so almost like atmospheric too. It's not just about the plot, So
well, I think you hit it, Taylor.
Other two.
When you said disturbing, I think that's where you go with this. It's because in the movie there's not as it's not how movies are made today, where it's a lot of just jump scares, right? It's more like you said, psychological. Like you see these creatures coming at you. They're not running towards you, but I remember being a kid. It was terrifying. Like absolutely terrifying. It's one of those that it took me like, you go to to a sleepover at a friend's house, you start watching it and you have to like take breaks in between parts of the movie because like, what the hell's going on here? Like this is not supposed to be happening.
Yeah, it's a very like odd movie. I'll definitely have to rewatch it. Are you guys big like HHN prep, like you want to watch all the movies and TV shows and stuff before the event?
Yes.
Yeah, same. I like to do a little bit of prep work because you just appreciate some of the scenes that they create so much more. So I do try. So I need to see 2 and 3, but the first one certainly was a wild ride.
Yeah, I've never seen 2 or 3 either. I don't know if those keep up with it or...
Yeah, me neither. I'll definitely have to try. But I also just feel like Pinhead and the Cenobites, like they're just such like iconic figures too.
Yeah.
I feel like even if you've never seen the movies, like I'm sure plenty of guests will come who haven't seen the movies who will be like, oh yeah, I recognize that guy, Pinhead. Yeah.
Especially Pinhead. Yeah, he's been used in like pop culture for years at this point, where like I wouldn't be surprised if somebody went in there going like, oh, that guy with the pins should be fun, and then walks in and comes out like with a mental disorder or something.
All right, I have been changed as a person going through this house.
Do I remember, did they have a Pinhead outside of the horror makeup, like in the lobby? Did they have like a Pinhead mask or photo out there for a while? Or am I misremembering that?
I don't know.
Okay,
then I don't remember. No, I wouldn't be surprised though.
It would be cool. I could say
I don't
that.
know why I'm like picturing like seeing that in person and being like, wow, that's so eerie and weird. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering.
Maybe we will now.
No, I'm gonna say it. It's true. No, it's true. Everybody, you heard it here first. There was a
I know, breaking news. Yeah.
Yes, we're quoting her.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Everything on the internet is real. So
correct.
This.
Yep. Yep.
That's correct. Right. That is correct. So.
All right. Well, that is definitely a house I think most people will be looking forward to. So very excited about that. All right, Brooke, can you close us off with our final batch of Producers Club birthdays?
Yeah, I'd love to. So first, I would like to say a very happy birthday to Taylor Filorowski, who's here with us today. Happy birthday, Taylor, on July 12th.
Feliz cumpleaños, Taylor.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to John Roberts on July 15th.
Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, John. And last but certainly not least, they're birthday twins. So sorry for not mentioning that. Oh, and named twins.
Yeah, right.
Happy birthday to John Schleps, also July 15th.
Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you both.
Yeah. And always, don't forget, send lots of cake.
So much
all right. Well, that is going to wrap up the podcast. If you want to be on the show, send in your recordings of you trying any or all 3 cones at Epic Universe's Isle of Burke for this year's segment, Which Cone Makes You Moan, rating each one out of 5 and sending those recordings to podcast@uuopodcast.com. And we'll be back next week as we tackle the science behind theme parks with special guest Michelle Boning. And I want to say thank you to Taylor and Brooke for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Talk to you next time.
That's the end of another Stella episode of UUOP. Use the Flu Network to give you access to us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. And check out our blog at uuopodcast.com for everything else. Send your owls to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And if you want to join the Producers Club, jump down the warp pipe at uuop.supercast.com. It's alive on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else that podcasts are found. So please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you can. Dragons aren't the only way to get around. Email Michelle at portkeyvacations.com. She can take care of all aspects of your next Universal Orlando vacation. Listen to them, the children of the night, the children of the UUOP network. Rush of Fear Halloween Horror Nights podcast, the theme park duo for all your West Coast news and info. The Taste of Universal, Universal Orlando Food Podcast, Port Key Passport, an adult-centric Disney podcast, the unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast, and Big Dumb Stuff, our comedy, pop culture, and themed entertainment podcast. Make sure to subscribe and come back next week because in the end, it turns out all we needed was a little more of this.